Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what's next in your career and some advice on your career and I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. So I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys, so make sure to check that out. But let's focus on this reading right now, so pick your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1, you chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What's next in group number 1's career? What's next in group number 1's career? Okay, so I am sensing that things are maybe going to remain the same for a while. I feel like maybe you're a bit tired of your situation right now, and you're maybe hoping that your situation is going to change, or that you're going to get another job, or that you're going to change your job to something different. Like maybe you're thinking of completely switching it up and like doing something completely different. And I feel like in the near future, you're maybe not going to do that. Like I'm sensing that you're going to stay in the area that you are in right now. You're going to stay in the same field. You're going to be more confident in this field. I think it's all going to, I feel like something is going to happen soon that is going to make you change your perspective on what you're currently doing. You're going to see it with different eyes. You're going to realize that there are actually more to this than meets the eye. Like you might see it right now as something that is just a stepping stone to something different. Like that you're maybe not you're maybe not giving it the respect that it actually calls for, because I think it is actually a respectful work, and I think you're actually quite good at it. And if you if you started believing more in what you're currently doing, believing more in yourself in it, and seeing how you actually are quite what's it called, in high demand. It's a job where you can actually be in high demand, where in the next I feel like in the next months, or like you're gonna figure out that in this line of work, people want you. People choose you. People want you to do the work for them. They want you to do it because you're the one who can do it right. And so I think this is maybe what's going to happen, that's going to shift your perspective, is that you're going to realize that you're really good at this, and that people want you. And so it is something that is that you might have to rethink whether it's a good idea to walk away from this when you're actually really starting to build something up here. And I think of course, if you're really tired of this, then of course you shouldn't just do it just because people really like your work, and like you should also have your heart in it. But I think your heart is going to be in it when you get the recognition that you deserve, and I feel like you're gonna get that soon. And if you like, there's maybe also something here like well, like if you, I feel like if you aren't getting the recognition that you deserve for your work, I think it would maybe be a good idea to talk to your boss and kind of, like if you have a boss, but and maybe kind of threaten to leave. Not necessarily threaten, but maybe tell your boss that that you're maybe thinking of maybe doing something else, just to get, because I think that is also a way that you can get your boss's true opinion of you, because I think your boss is actually really, really happy with your work right now, but they are not saying anything because somehow your boss is really bad at complimenting people, and I think it's I think they need that push in order to actually compliment others, and they need to feel like they have that, oh, they have to. And if you tell your boss that you're thinking of leaving for something else, then I think that would spark something in your boss that would make them want to actually tell you how they actually feel about your work. And I feel like that is actually very positive. I think you would get very positive feedback, and I think it would be very real. It's not like they would just be saying all these things just to keep you there. It's more like this person would tell you the truth that they have been sitting on for a long time just because they are socially awkward. So but I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about what's next in your career. Queen of Wands reversed. I feel like you're I feel like there are bats on this card here, and I feel like with this card reversed, I think of course bats, they hide away, and I feel like with this card reversed, I think you are going to, like, the next, I think you're gonna start maybe showing more of yourself at your current job. If you have a job where you're like, if some of you have, I know that like this is maybe specific for some of you, but if you have a YouTube channel, or if you have a like some kind of social media platform, I feel like the next thing for you, I think, is to show more of yourself, more vulnerability, like show more of who you are, tell more of your story. I feel like people like that. People like to see you actually sharing what's going on inside of you. And I think sometimes you might get too professional, where you just get the job done, and then you just like then there's radio silence until you do your next work. Like you don't seem like, and this might also apply to those of you who work at a workplace. You might be the type of person who just goes to work and then you get the job done and then you go home and you don't really socialize, maybe, or you might socialize minimally, and you don't really show show much of your personality. And I think in the next few months, I think there's gonna be a shift where you're gonna dare to show more of yourself, where you're gonna feel like and I think it's also because you're gonna feel like there's not a lot on the line, like you're gonna feel like you're not taking such a huge risk. And I feel like it's because you're gonna be more confident in your work. You're gonna feel like you're gonna get some positive feedback. You're gonna get some positive recognition. You're gonna get recognition for your work. You're gonna feel like people put you on high regards, and you're gonna feel wanted and needed, and you're gonna feel like people actually look up to you and really want your advice and want your opinion. And when you get that positive recognition, I think you're gonna feel like you can actually be vulnerable. You can show people who you are now, because there's no risk of people just turning their back on you. You're gonna feel like you have the validation. You're gonna feel like you're gonna feel like you know that people are gonna stand by you no matter what. So you're gonna feel confident enough to share. Share your personality, share the deepest, darkest secrets that you have. Maybe like there is certain things about yourself that you wouldn't have had the confidence to share before. So I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about what's next in your career. 9 of Cups. You're gonna get recognition. You're gonna get, like, people are gonna see what you do. People are gonna see your achievements, and they are gonna praise you for it. They are gonna, like, you might even win some kind of I feel like there's something like maybe employee of the month or some kind, like you're gonna get some kind of token of appreciation for your work. Like you're gonna have something to show for it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you're gonna have something in your hands, something to show for the amount of work that you put in to your job. Like there's gonna be something, I don't know what it is, but it's something, a trophy, some token of appreciation, maybe a letter, maybe a gift, maybe a diploma or something. I don't know. It's just something that you're going to be able to have in your hands. Like this woman here holding this, like grabbing onto this star that's fallen down from the sky. Like there's going to be something where you're going to know you're going to have it in your hands, and it's going to remind you that you have some star quality here, that you are actually really good at your job. You're going to have something to show for it. So I'm going to shuffle some more. Okay, so with the Eight of Wands, I feel like you're going to like soon. I feel like in a matter of months, like it's like it is in the near future. I think in the near future you're gonna have some kind of recognition. You're gonna feel very warm. You're gonna feel like you're like it's gonna warm you up from the inside. It's gonna make you feel very great. Like you're finally getting the right appreciation, and you might even get some kind, like if you have a job to do with social media, I think maybe you're going to get a shout out from someone who you actually might look up to, and or a message from somebody you look up to who wants to collaborate with you or something like that. And with the Moon card, I feel like you're gonna these are like there are a lot of fantasy imagery on this card, fantasy symbols like the unicorn and fairies. And I feel like, well, there's also a maze here. I actually never noticed that there's a maze here in the back, like down here. There's a maze, and there's fish going through the maze. So I feel like there might be like in the next few months. I feel like maybe your feelings are like so you're on an emotional level. I think you're gonna feel a bit like you're all over the place. Like you're gonna get recognition, and it's gonna make you very, very happy. You're gonna feel like things are maybe escalating a bit, like maybe at your work where you feel like maybe you don't really, maybe you're gonna get a lot of compliments and you don't really know what to do with it. Like it might make you feel a bit weird, like because maybe that's not maybe that's not something you're used to, that sort of attention, and that attention might make you feel a bit weird, like so just keep that in mind, that you're maybe but I feel like it's not anything bad, because you are like you're maybe gonna feel a bit like you're just normal, like that you're just a normal person doing a job, and you're maybe gonna feel a bit conflicted because you feel like you're getting all this recognition for something, and you don't really feel like you're doing anything special, like you're just doing the same thing as everybody else, and or something, and you're gonna feel a bit like like everybody sees you as a unicorn, but really you just feel like a horse, and you don't really see that you're that different from all the other horses, because the thing that keeps you apart from all the other horses is a horn in your forehead, and you can't see it because it's in your forehead, so it's not visible for you, and so I feel like I think unicorns actually can see, probably could see the horn if it's in the forehead. So I think that's actually a bad analogy, but whatever. But I feel like I don't actually think they can, because they see that way. So it actually is so they wouldn't be able to. They can't see what's in front of them. So that makes sense actually. Now, yeah, okay. So the analogy it fits though, but yeah. But yeah, it's I think you're gonna feel like everybody sees you as someone special, like that you're that you have a unique talent. You're gonna feel like you don't. You're gonna feel like like maybe you're gonna have like a bit of like imposter syndrome, where you're gonna feel like you're like everybody's saying that you're something, and you feel like, oh, you're, I don't know, but yeah, but that comes along with recognition. Like that's very normal to feel a bit like ambivalent about the recognition that you get, especially if it's not something you're used to. So yeah, with the world reversed, I feel like in the next few, like what's next in your career is not out in the world. It's close. It's where you are. You don't have, like, you might feel like you need to go out, see the world. You need to have a more exciting job, something where you have, like, where the world is your oyster, and you can, like, and I think that's maybe something that you can think of, like, down the line, in the future, in the far future. I think not far, but like maybe not in the near future. Maybe in the near future you might have to focus on where you are right now, and appreciate where you are right now, and appreciate what your local area can actually give you, and especially if you do something that you can do from home. If you have a job that you do from home, then then there's maybe no reason to get out and about. Like, you can just get the most out of your home, seeing the good things that come out of that. Like, so. And I feel like also there is in this imagery there's a whale, and the whale is oozing water up, and the water is spraying, oozing, I don't know what, spraying, I think, spraying water up, and the water is holding the world, and it's reversed, and I feel like sometimes what gives us balance, what keeps us afloat, is something that needs to be petted, needs to be shown some kind of appreciation. And I think you have a talent, and that talent is keeping you afloat. It's keeping you. You could easily make a living out of just pure talent, but you need to remember to appreciate that talent. Recognize it, see it for what it is, and be grateful for it. Don't take it for granted. Don't make it into less than it actually is. Don't downplay it. And so whenever you get this recognition, don't be like, I know that sometimes some people are just awkward when it comes to compliments, and I am the same way. But I know, I understand the urge to just say, oh no, it's nothing. But I feel like when you get this recognition for your work, don't downplay it. Just thank the person, and don't try to minimize it. Don't try to reduce its value. Remember that you put in a lot of work, and remember that you are extraordinary. You're very talented. So the recognition is really at its place. And don't try to make yourself believe that people are just saying those things just to make you feel better, or that they are just acting like your work is good, and then they are just saying all these things to be nice and kind. But it's not true. It's because the recognition is gonna be true. It's gonna be heartfelt. And so, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna ask if there's any advice on your career. With the Four of Wands reversed, this card here, it has tokens on it. It has these pillars with tokens, pillars with faces of animals on it, and also a human here. But yeah. And there's a dove here, up here, and it's reversed. And I feel like the advice is to maybe not don't put too many masks on. Don't try too many different personas. I know that we can put on a persona, and that is like it sometimes makes it easier. It's maybe something that you can hide behind, is to like I don't know. I feel like the advice here is to stay more true to yourself. Be you. Like don't try to be something you're not. Don't change yourself according to who you talk to. Don't say what other people want to hear. Say what's on your mind, and be more true to your own opinion, and give people advice that you think is going to be helpful, not advice that you think the person wants to hear, because that advice is something like that they can't use that advice for anything. That's just going to make them happy for 10 minutes, and then it's not going to get them anywhere. It's better to give people the hard truth sometimes, because that is what's gonna change their path. That's what they are gonna be grateful for in the long run. A few years from now, that's what they are gonna remember. They're not gonna remember that advice, that bullshit advice you gave the person just to make them happy. It's and of course, yes, this this might make you a bit unpopular in the moment, and it's never easy to be unpopular, like right when you're in it, like when you want to be on the good side with people. You want to have, like, you want to win them over. You want them to like you. Of course, everybody wants everybody to like them. That's the most normal human urge to have. So it's very normal, but it won't, like, I just feel like it's just better to be authentic, be genuine to people, tell people what you actually think. If you're doing some counseling work, if you're counseling people, like a couple that is or something, like it's just sometimes it's better to say it like it is, say things how you see them, like be blunt, be real, because that is what they are going to appreciate in the long run. And with the Hermit, I feel like the advice here is also to take time for yourself. Sometimes take time where you walk on the beach on your own, go to the forest on your own, do some things in solitude, some things where you can really be in touch with nature, in touch with yourself. Like if you have a dog, then go for walks with the dog, and do it like, don't feel like you have to be productive all the time. Like take some time off for yourself, to heal yourself, to get energized, to remember who you are. Like sometimes it takes a walk to get back to the default settings. Like you need to sometimes have that break to really figure out, like find back to the original ways, like the way that you were supposed to supposed to be before everybody else kind of influenced you and had an effect on you. Like it's so. And also with the owl here, like seek out knowledge, but don't do it as a chore. Find what, like read a book, but don't read the book in like with learning in mind. Read a book just because it entertains you. And sometimes like for a long time I didn't like reading fiction, because I felt like non-fiction was something I could learn from. I would rather want to read read non-fiction, just because it just felt more it felt like a less of a waste of time, whereas I felt like in the past that fiction there wasn't any point in it, but there is a point, because it's reading stories, even though they are made up. It's reading stories, seeing things from another perspective. It's like getting into the mind of somebody else. It's even if it's like there's just something, like sometimes everything we do doesn't have to have a purpose. Sometimes it can also just be for entertaining purposes, and that sometimes it's relaxing to read a book that isn't about anything, that is just about some it could even be romantic books, even erotic novels. Like some of those can also have some interesting perspectives that will end up making us realize something new that we didn't realize before. Like you can learn something from anything. So reading something that is supposed to make you learn something would sometimes doesn't end up with you learning anything, because sometimes it isn't that. Sometimes you don't get that epiphany reading books that are meant to give you an epiphany, like reading philosophical books. Sometimes you end up with an empty feeling where you feel like, what was even the point, really? Because it was just a lot of mumbo jumbo, and it was sometimes it doesn't actually bring anything new to the table. It just confuses you even more, and it's sometimes written in some very vague terms where you can't actually use the things you've learned in real life, because it's so far from reality. It's in some kind. It's up in the clouds. It's not here. It's not in this. It's not connecting people. It's not. It's something else. Whereas sometimes you can actually get some very, very wise words from an erotic novel, where sometimes it's in the things that like sometimes you find wisdom in things that you wouldn't have expected to bring you wisdom, and it's just so and not everything has to be productive. Sometimes the things that aren't productive actually ends up being the most productive, and like sometimes you set yourself up to just do something like crocheting or learning to knit just just to relax, and then you end up actually producing a lot of stuff because you end up liking it a lot, and it actually gives you something more than and like I'm not saying that you should do anything with production in mind. I'm just saying that sometimes production or productivity ends up coming out of nowhere, coming out of a place where like you thought of one thing and then it led to something else, and it's that process, that's inspiring process that sometimes only happens when you're doing something that you're doing without productivity in mind. It's sometimes that happens. I don't know, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 1, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. Group number 2. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2? The people who will choose group number 2. What's next in their career? What's next in group number 2's career? Okay, so I'm sensing that not a lot is gonna happen next. Like it seems like you're maybe in the early stages of something right now, and you're just starting it up, and maybe you're hoping that it's gonna take a shorter amount of time than it actually will. That it's and I'm not saying that to discourage you. I think you should hold on to it, keep at it, because that was something that came through in the channeling, was that you just need to believe that it's gonna happen, and it will. Really, never give up. Never give up on this, because it is your dream, and you deserve to get there, and you're going to get there. But it might be good to put a more realistic time frame on it, because it might, like, maybe you're hoping that it's going to happen in months. But maybe it's going to happen in years. Like there might be more. And I know it sounds so discouraging, but everything good happens to those who are patient and those who wait. Like and I feel like you don't want that instant success. You might think you want it, but instant success has downsides to it as well. If you're building up a following on social media, for instance, I know it might not apply to all of you, but for those of you who are building up a social media platform, or building up a following on a social media platform, then I think what you want is a loyal following, a following that will stick to you no matter what, a following that will never leave you because they are loyal and faithful to you. and that sort of following does not happen overnight. That's something you build up over time. And when you get the instant success, like where you just suddenly just get a lot of followers on, like, anyone who gets that, they get it's like the what's it called, the day fly phenomenon, where it's like everything where it's like it comes up really quickly, it also falls down very quickly, because the people subscribe because of one thing, and then they leave because they are not loyal subscribers. It's more like you want the more ride or die types of followers, and you're gonna get that if you build up slowly, and also sometimes it's also the universe kind of protecting you, because not everybody can really deal with instant success, because instant success can be very, very damaging emotionally, because we are not prepared for it. Like there needs to be that preparation, and when you grow slowly on a social media platform, you learn as you go, and you get more that you're not that naked, where you've been building up, like when you've been growing for a long time and you haven't really reached a big audience, and then you've had a lot of time to perfect your work, and you've realized that certain things don't work and certain things are not that great, and then you change that, and then you like and you will also have more engagement with your followers, and they can give you feedback, and you can kind of switch things up. And it's better to suck on a smaller scale than to suck on a grand scale, and that is kind of inevitable when you build up when you, or not build up, but when you end up having this instant success where you just from one day to the next get to like a million followers, or that's a bit excessive, but but then you haven't, then you're gonna suck, because you haven't been trying and changing and building and growing for a long time. You just do something that's kind of a raw diamond, and you just end up showing it to a million people, and you probably only wanted to show it to maybe 10,000, and then you're fucked, because suddenly everybody's watching. And that can be damaging, because when that happens, you get a lot of hate, and you end up with a lot of good comments, a lot of bad comments too. Whereas when you build up over time, you get these ride or die subscribers that are gonna be positive towards your videos, even when you suck, which is kind of that's not that great, but these people who like, and it will end up kind of I don't know, that kind of defeated my whole point. Like it went against it completely, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I think it's good to grow in a more organic pace, where you can I don't know, but and so it's not just a bad thing. Like I know everybody wants instant success. I wanted instant success too. I did not get that, but and that's also a very humbling experience, because when I started, I thought, of course I'm gonna end up with a lot of subscribers in no time because I'm talented and like and all of that, and I genuine I thought that, and that also speaks volumes about like my own, like of course it's hard to have a good intuition when it comes to your own life. It's hard to, but of course my intuition was kind of off back when it came to my own story, my own life, because that did not really go as I expected. But I'm actually very, very happy with how it turned out. Like genuinely, I'm not just saying that, but because I know that I needed all this time to grow as a person and be more comfortable with, first of all, comfortable in front of a camera, and that's also something that takes a lot of time. And I'm not completely comfortable by now. Like I still have some work to do, but it is your journey is a work in progress, and you have to remember that sometimes it's that there really is a downside to instant success. It really isn't what you want, because that's hard. I don't know from experience, but that's just what that's just what I'm getting spiritually in this reading from channeling and whatever. But with a Four of Cups, this it's what's next in your career is that you're probably gonna say no to some things, and you're gonna have I feel like you're gonna have to prioritize. There might be some things that are keeping you from what you actually want. Maybe you are growing a social media platform, but you're also working another job on the side, or maybe you're in school, or maybe you're doing something else. And maybe I feel like in the next, I feel like what's gonna happen next is that you're gonna take certain things out of your life in order to make room for something else. This is also a pregnancy card. I'm not gonna. Well, maybe for some of you. I'm not gonna. Well, maybe for some of you, you might get pregnant, but that doesn't. Like, I feel like if that happens, it's gonna be. Like you're just gonna have to take something out to put that into, and I feel like you're gonna have, it's gonna be manageable. It's gonna be manageable to handle that situation. But of course that's something for some of you. But for others of you, it could be more of a symbolic pregnancy, something brewing, something where you're gonna be working on a project. And then like you're gonna birth that project, so that could also happen. So of course there might be something that you are creating right now, something that you haven't shown the world by now, but something where you're maybe writing something, like writing a book or something. And I would say that writing a book, like focus on that. That's great. Another thing is that if you're building a social media platform and writing a book at the same time, I know that's maybe specific for some of you, but yeah, take what resonates. But if you're doing that, then I think keep working on your social media platform while writing the book, especially if you're doing something on your social media platform that is applying to the same audience that your book is going to apply to, because having a social media platform will help you with the book release. If you finish the book and want to publish it, that would help to give the book more attention. So doing that simultaneously would give a good reward. I'm gonna shuffle some more cards and see what's next in your career. What's next in your career? Seven of Wands reversed. So I feel like in the what's going to happen next in your career is that your whatever you're doing, if you're doing something publicly, you're not going to get any hate. You're going to get very good feedback, and it's going to be very nice. I feel like you're not going to, like with this card here, it's somebody who gets poked at from all sides, everybody kind of being like, poking with like sticks with like fire on it, fire on the end of the sticks, like this person is trying to defend himself from these burning matches that are being like they like kind of like this kind of made me think of like when in old Western movies when they get somebody to dance by shooting at them, shooting at their feet and making them dance and ha 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 sort of thing. And this is kind of a good analogy of how social media works, that people will give a lot of hate to the people that they actually like to see. Like they like to watch. Like I've never really understood the whole thing about, like, I've had a few haters or like on my channel. Luckily I haven't gotten that many, but I had one and it was very persistent. This person was very persistently writing a hate comment on every one of my videos, and it was always like the same comment, like that the reading was trash, the reading was shit, the reading was like all was garbage, and like and I was like, well, if like, why are you watching all my videos then? Like, then stop watching my videos. Like, you're just wasting your own time and wasting mine, because I have to delete all your comments, and that's exhausting to me too. But yeah, this is and this person never commented anything positive ever, like that it makes no sense. Like, why would somebody want to watch every video I make, and just to say that it was trash and garbage, and like but yeah, it's like it's the whole thing that somebody just wants to have a monkey, and they want the monkey to dance, and it's like, and they think that if they can I don't know if it's like the more you mistreat somebody, the more fun you get out of it, or like I don't know really what's going through people's minds. But again, of course, it's trolls, and I know that, and you shouldn't engage with them, and that's also why I just deleted all this person's comments. I usually don't delete people's comments just if they give me negative feedback, because of course it's like they are allowed to have an opinion, and I'm like, if I can see that the person actually is trying to make the videos better, then it's fine. Like, okay, yeah, then say whatever and I'll take it into account. Like, but if it's obvious that there's no actual point in these comments, then I'll just delete them, because it's obvious that it's just a troll. But yeah, I feel like with this card being reversed, that's my point. I think you're not going to get any trolls. And so if you're building a social media platform, I think you're going to be very graced by only having good comments, good positive comments, nobody calling your videos trash or garbage, or like and so it seems like you're gonna dodge a bullet on that one, and I think it's actually gonna be good. You're gonna be attracting very nice and kind people to you, respectful people who only have respectful things to say, and I think that's very, very good. So, okay, with the 9 of Pentacles, I think what's next is that I think you're gonna do something, on your own. I think there is definitely an entrepreneurial energy here. I feel like if you're not already doing your own thing, I think you will be doing that, but I feel like you're already doing it. I think you're already starting to build something up on your own, something interesting, something where you're your own boss, and I think it's gonna be very good. I think you're gonna have some time where you're gonna really thrive on your own, and you're gonna feel like you're more productive when you are following your own schedule, when you're not getting like orders from other people, when you are the one in charge. And I think that's I think I feel like you're gonna do something very exciting. And I think it's gonna be a good experience where you're also gonna realize some things about yourself that you didn't realize before. I think it's going to be a cathartic experience for you. It might stir up some memories, or like some memories from the past. Like I feel like there's gonna be something where you're maybe gonna remember who you were before, like before you were put in a box, before you were, and maybe you're also gonna do something that is more speaking to your inner child, like where you're gonna remember what you actually wanted to do when you were 8 or 9 or 10, years old, like what you wanted to do back then, what was your passions back then, and what were you good at back then. And maybe you're going to look back at that and actually follow up on that, because maybe you haven't been following up on it because you've been too busy being pushed into a box. And I think you're gonna be doing something that's more in alignment with your true self, more authentically you. I'm gonna shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a bit more information on what's next in your career. Okay, so with a melancholy card reverse, I feel like if you've had some depression that you've been dealing with lately or in the past, or like, then I feel like in the near future, I think you're gonna feel more happy, more like you're actually more in control of your mood. You're more in control of what's happening inside of you. Maybe you're going to be more in control of your own internal dialogue. You're going to be more. You're going to be better at telling yourself that you can actually do the things that you want to do, and that there aren't any limitations. Whereas maybe before you had maybe a bad habit of telling yourself that you were too lazy, or that you were like, maybe you talked very badly towards yourself and didn't really give yourself a break. And maybe that was the cause of your depression to begin with, was this maybe from this internal dialogue, but maybe also from other people maybe your parents telling you that you were just lazy, that you should just start doing the things, just put in the work and just do it. And like that they might not have been very empathetic of your situation, and maybe as a result of that, maybe you also felt very felt like you were just being lazy, that was the only reason why you might have dropped out of the university or high school or whatever, that you felt like that was just because you couldn't pull it together and just do what everybody else was doing. But I think it's more your I think there's another reason why you were lazy. I think you could have some, I don't know if you have some ADD or something like that, but there's maybe also some that you're neurodivergent, or that you have some OCD or something that is causing you to have a hard time doing tasks that are meant to be done perfectly, or that when you have somebody else that you're doing it for, like when you're doing something where you have somebody supervising you, or somebody who is like, then that might put too much pressure on the work to be done. Like sometimes also in school, like everything has to be done in a correct way, and you're being measured by the amount of errors you make, but where in reality, like in real life, especially in the creative field, people don't really care if you make small mistakes. It's all about the bigger picture. Like a painter can make a lot of painting mistakes, but become the biggest painter in the world, despite those small mistakes, because people won't be looking at it as mistakes. They will be looking at it as the signature of that artist. And so the whole educational system does not take that into account, that some things are not supposed to be done perfectly. Sometimes looking for details is taking away from the bigger picture, and I think maybe you were like a bit of a victim to this mentality, and so you got really perfectionistic and wanted everything to be done perfectly because you knew that people were going to fixate on the small errors. And so I think this is going to change when you do your own thing, when you birth this creative project, or when you start doing your own thing, where you're the boss, where you're the one like in charge of whether the product will sell or not. And I think you have a good understanding of what sells and what doesn't, and something can be picture perfect, but it won't sell for shit on the market. But something can be completely flawed and actually have a higher value to it. So I think you have a good understanding of the market, and I think if you just follow your intuition on that one, I think you would get really far. Like also if you are into antiques, like antiquities, buying and selling antiquities, I think you could be really good at it, because you don't look for the picture perfect. You look for what has value, what you can see somebody buy, like what you can see. And maybe you're also somebody who likes to refurbish and take old items and change them into new, paint them and like give them a new touch, new style. And I think you have a good vision for that sort of thing. And with the old woman, I feel like what's next is maybe to do something that is a bit like a bit old school, like a bit retro, vintage, something where like maybe something where to do with clothes or furniture, or like but even if that's not the case, even if you're doing something different, I think what's next is that you're gonna go maybe a bit go a bit back in time, like maybe if you're interested in history or interested in architecture or archaeology, or something where you go back in time, I think, or talk about something that happened back in time. So I think that is maybe the like something that you could branch into, or if it's what you're currently doing, I think you're just going to do more of that. With the servant reversed, I feel like what's next is you're not going to be a servant to people. You're going to do your own thing. And I think like if you're doing something on a social media platform, I think I don't think you're going to get any hate. But I think the reason why you're not going to get any hate is also because you're going to do your own thing, and you're going to be confident in what you do, and you're going to ignore if people have something to say. But I don't think they will, because I think they might smell it on you that you don't care. maybe like I think people are gonna know that, oh, you don't give a shit what they say or what they think of you, and so what's the point? And maybe even like if you have a social media platform, I think maybe you're gonna maybe you should consider just. I know that you don't get a lot of hate comments, so I don't think it's an issue. But maybe it just like making sure that like putting on that setting where you don't get any comments at all could be a good idea, just to show people that you don't care what they think, like you, but that you're confident enough in the work as it is. You don't need validation from anyone. You're just confident in what you do, and but even if you keep them there, I think you're gonna be more like you're gonna do things for your own sake, and you're not gonna be you're not gonna let anyone dictate what you're gonna do. You're gonna like you might even do something like I was thinking of Picasso before. Like nobody understood his art at the time, but it was understood afterwards, and it was seen as something very like. I think I don't even know if it's not like he didn't get a recognition, but I'm not like I'm not I'm not. I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of examples of people who did a lot of art, did art in their life, didn't get recognition for it in their lifetime, got recognition for it afterwards, and I think this is like, I'm not saying that you're not going to get recognition for it in your lifetime, but I feel like the work that you do might have a bigger purpose. It might be part of a bigger picture, and you might be able to see the bigger picture, even though the masses don't get it. Because but you shouldn't really care about that, because that's how the great people who have changed history, like they didn't care. They just did what they knew was the right thing at the time. They knew they were gonna get recognition for it at some point. So I'm gonna ask about some advice on your career. Some advice on your career. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Don't get too caught up in like money. Don't. Money is good. It's a good thing. It's a good motivational factor, but money is not everything. It's better to keep your integrity than to make a lot of money. And so sometimes we just need to hold on to what we believe in, even if people tell you, like if you're doing something and people tell you, oh, you would get so much more success if you did this or that, or if you changed things up, if you used different music, if you didn't if you did things more by the book, or if you did more research, or if you like that you would get so much more recognition if you did that or something. But but if it doesn't feel right, then don't let other people's opinion don't let them dictate what you do. Do what you're inspired to do, what you're spiritually guided to do. So I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about some advice on your career. The Hermit reversed. Don't overthink things. Don't overanalyze. Do things. Just do it. Because I think the more you're just being authentically you, the better. If you're doing something where you're doing videos, where you're talking about something or discussing some topic or something, the less rehearsed it is, the better. I know it might not it might not fit everybody's fancy, but it's always better to just be as authentic as possible. Say what comes to your mind. Don't overthink it. Don't go back and delete all the things that you think, oh, that's sometimes we say things and it's supposed to be there. It's there's a purpose in everything we do, and sometimes the small errors are actually the thing that gives our work more value. So remember that that sometimes there's also something funny in saying something stupid sometimes, and sometimes that thing is gonna be humor for some people. People are gonna find that hilarious that you say something stupid, and of course that might kind of trigger a part of you where you feel like, oh, it's not fun to be made fun of, but it's kind of like this barrier that you just have to get over, because sometimes it's just like it is what it is. We can't take ourselves too seriously. So but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3, you chose the Mops Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What's next in group number 3's career? What's next in group number 3's career? I feel like you're gonna get some news soon, and I feel like it's gonna be positive. But with these news, there's also gonna be something else that's gonna come in, or there's gonna be this thing where there's a bit of an ambivalence, because I feel like you're gonna get a yes to something that you actually want and that you have applied for or something, but I feel like there's gonna be a part of you that's gonna be a bit sad that you're gonna have to say no to something else. Like you're gonna have to say goodbye to an era. Like it's gonna feel like an end of an era. It's gonna feel like you're gonna there's something that is going to be over, and it's gonna be with a heavy heart, but there's also like I'm also getting butterflies in my stomach, like feeling like this, and I feel like this is gonna be how you're gonna feel with this this news coming into your life. It's gonna be something new coming in. It's gonna feel great. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be like really like it's gonna be motivating. It's gonna inspire you. It's gonna make you feel like now you're on the right path. But yeah, it's gonna be with a small ambivalence. It's gonna feel like, well, what if you're saying goodbye to a good thing? And like I feel like you're doing something right now where you are tired of it. You feel like it's maybe not what you expected it to be, or you're maybe feeling a bit like it's like that it's a bit of a dead end, or like that you're just and maybe you feel like if you're working in a workplace or with some people, you might be really tired of these people and feel like, oh, it's just so like it's like with a heavy heart every time you like there's just some, but like not a heavy heart, but that was the wrong word, but like that it's always gonna be like that you might feel like it's these people are just not the people you would like to work with. They are kind of tiring, toxic, maybe even there's something going on that you're just tired of. And so I think having this new opportunity open up in the horizon is going to make you feel like, yes, you can finally say goodbye to these shitheads. But then like right when you're going to make this shift, you're going to feel like, oh, but these people are maybe not that bad. Maybe you were just pessimistic and negative, and maybe you're gonna feel like, oh, you should have maybe given them a chance. Maybe it's because they are gonna throw you a farewell party thing, and you're gonna feel like, oh, these people aren't that bad. And so maybe you're gonna feel like, oh, you want to move forward, but you kind of want to stay, but this is an exciting opportunity, and these are always gonna be there. Like that this is something else. Like I don't know. But I feel like there's a bittersweet thing. But I feel like there is an opportunity opening up in the near future, and it's gonna be very interesting. Very like it's gonna make you feel all kinds of things that you haven't been feeling for a long time. Like it's gonna make you more excited about going to work, like because it's gonna feel like this is actually what you want, like that it's what you've been missing. But I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. About what's next in your career. Okay, 4 of Cups. I feel like, yeah, you're gonna say no to something in order to say yes to something else. There's gonna be something that you're gonna reject, and you're gonna do it to make room for something new and exciting to come into your life. And you're maybe gonna feel like you're afraid that you're making the wrong decision. You're gonna feel maybe you're a Pisces or something like that, I don't know, but like I feel like you're maybe a bit bad at decision making, or not bad at it. I think you're good at making decisions, but you're overthinking your decisions, and you can't just let it go. That maybe, like, whenever you make a decision, you might keep contemplating whether things would have turned out differently if you had done this or that, or like that it's like you can't just leave it be. And I think in this case, I think when you move on, I think it's important that you try at least to just leave it and don't think too much about what you're leaving behind. Just move forward, and don't think about who you're like. Maybe this ambivalence also stems from you feeling like you owe these people something, or that you feel like the people that you're working with right now, that these people are like you have maybe a personal bond to these people, and you might feel like it's a douchey thing to do to just walk away, that you're maybe gonna feel like you're leaving someone behind, and you're maybe leaving that person for the lions, like that you're leaving them in the lions den, like that it's especially if your workplace is a bit toxic, then of course maybe you're gonna feel like that one person who wasn't toxic, that one colleague who wasn't toxic, that person is now gonna have to deal with all the toxicity on their own. And that I get that might give you some feeling of like feel like you have a that you feel bad for doing that, a guilty conscience in some way. I feel like with the Eight of Wands here, I think you're gonna do some, like, I feel like like what's next in your career is gonna happen quite soon. Like, I think this thing that you're gonna, like, I feel like you're gonna get an answer, a positive answer to an application or a job interview or something. It's gonna be positive. And I feel like you're going to get an answer very soon. And you're going to be heading from stormy waters into smooth waters. And really, like, I feel like you're going to go from maybe a bit of a bad situation. Maybe your current job is a bit chaotic, and maybe a bit toxic, and very, like, uncertain, like a lot of uncertainties, and like and I think you're gonna be sailing into a more smooth, more calm and quiet place where it's more professional, maybe less drama, more work, just and more recognition also for your work. You're not going to feel like you're just working and working and working and nobody's actually complimenting on you on your work. You're going to actually get positive feedback, and it's going to be very good. It's So, but what is the advice for you, group number 3? What's the advice on your career? What's the advice? Okay, so with the 5 of Cups reversed, I feel like the advice is to not like don't see the glass half empty, see the glass half full. You might be thinking, like, when you start your new job, you might be feeling like, oh, you miss certain things from the past, from your past, from your current job, like the job you have right now. You're gonna feel like in the future, when you start your new job, that you're gonna miss some things from this job. You're gonna feel like you're gonna regret your decision at first. You're gonna feel like, oh, what did you get yourself into? You're gonna feel like you're just being thrown out on to the deep end, like, and you can't reach the bottom, and it's gonna feel a bit scary, maybe a bit but everything risky is rewarding. Like, it's sometimes we need to be thrown out to the deep end, and we will, because when we get thrown out that way, then we learn how to swim very quickly. And I think you're gonna learn how to swim in this new job very quickly. You're gonna learn to navigate all the archives and all the IT systems and everything. Everything's gonna go dandy and sweet. You just have to wait, and you have to be patient with yourself, and allow yourself to be a bit like a bit of a newbie in the beginning, because you are a newbie. You're new to the job, and so don't expect yourself to know everything on the first day. Don't be afraid of asking for help. Don't feel too stubborn and too proud to ask for help, because I think a lot of people want to help you. It's just about allowing them to help you. And what else? What advice is there? So 6 of Wands reversed. I feel like maybe you're a bit used to being a bit, I don't know, a bit popular, or like not necessarily popular, but you have a likability. I think you get along very well with people. You're very easygoing, and it's easy for you to talk to people. And maybe at your current job, the job that you have right now, or the job that you used to have in the near past, you might have been quite. You might have been in the inner circle, like you might have been a part of a group of friends, and you might have gotten along very well with these people. Had some friends that you were very close to, maybe friends that you saw on a regular basis, also outside of work. And maybe that's also why you're a bit ambivalent when it comes to like taking a new opportunity on, because maybe you feel like, oh, you have some friends at your current job that you don't want to leave behind. And when you get to your next job, when you start the next job, I think you might end up working with someone who just instantly doesn't like you. I know this. I'm really. I hope I'm not painting the devil on the wall, but I feel like maybe you're gonna work with someone who's gonna have some kind of prejudice when it comes to you. Maybe it's a male who's a bit socially awkward, and maybe you're very good looking, and maybe this person is gonna think like, oh, you're just a Barbie doll, you don't know anything, and so maybe this person is gonna kind of be hard on you in the beginning because they don't expect you to know anything, or like it's gonna be and it's maybe gonna catch you a bit off guard because you're usually very easygoing, and it's easy for you to get people to like you, but it might be more of a challenge to get this person to like you. But the advice here is don't make this person like you. Don't let it be your whole don't let that be a challenge that you're putting yourself up to, because you're putting yourself up to fail, because this person just has a thing where they there are just people that this person doesn't like, and this person you shouldn't take it personally, because this person might have only like 2 people in their life that they actually like, and then they criticize everybody else and give everybody else a hard time. And so it's just their personality is to just be a bit negative and poor judgment on people, and you should just feel sorry for this person instead of feeling like you have to make this person like you. Just feel like, oh, that's a shame that this person is that way, and just let it go. Just tell yourself every day that it doesn't matter what this person thinks, because you're just going to work and you're doing your job, and the other people at your workplace, they actually really like you. And so I feel like when you start your next job, you're gonna make other friends, but you're probably not gonna make friends with that partner that you're gonna have to kind of work with a lot, which is a bit of a shame. But I think you're gonna have a good relationship with the boss. You're gonna have a good relationship with other colleagues that you meet when you have lunch. You're gonna meet with some of the other other people at the workplace, and you're gonna like them a lot. But it's just like this person is maybe gonna give you a hard time, and it's probably the reason why you're gonna feel a bit like you made the wrong decision right at first when you meet this person the first time, because you're gonna think, oh Jesus, this is gonna be an uphill battle to get this person to behave and get this person to like you. And it's not your job to make this person behave. This person might say some things to you they're gonna make some they're gonna make some very off-putting remarks where it's gonna feel like that's really off. That's just not something you should say to people. But remember that, whenever somebody points their finger at you, there are 3 fingers pointing back at them. And I feel like this person is, whenever this person criticizes you, it is more reflecting on who they are as a person. It's putting more heat on them, not on you. It's everybody else can see that they are judging you unfairly, and so it's don't take this person too seriously. It's and remember the bigger picture, that you're working this job because it's something you're passionate at. It's something that gives you joy. The work gives you joy. And just remember that. And then it doesn't matter who you work with, because you have a higher purpose. And you're going to have to just remember that purpose. And that there's more to this job than just getting along with your colleague. So, yeah. But it's a big opportunity coming up. It's gonna make you very, like, it's gonna make you grow as a person. It's gonna look very good on your resume, and so it's worth it. It's worth it to put up with this person. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Botticelli Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4? The people who will choose group number 4. What's next in their career? What's going to happen next in their career? A lot of fun. Okay, so I feel like you're gonna have fun with your career. Like then, what's gonna happen next is that you're gonna do like you're gonna. I don't know if you have applied for a job in something fun, like in the entertainment business, or at something that's fun to you, like working at a bar, or working at a club, or something fun like pole dancing, dancing, dance coordinator, something with music, something, I don't know, something. If you've applied for a job in something that is really fun to you, I think there is a very, very good chance you're gonna get that. It seems very like the luck is on your side, yeah. But if you haven't applied for a job, then I just think you're gonna do something fun. You're gonna like maybe do your own, like do it on your own, like start your own dance classes, or maybe do some dance classes online, help people learn how to dance, or something. But I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your career. What's next in your career? Okay, so with the 7 of Cups reversed, I feel like this. I think what's next is that I feel like a dream of yours is going to come true, actually. something you have been dreaming for a long time, where it's just been something in your head, like something that you have been manifesting, or like you've been envisioning it happen, and like and I feel like you are gonna actually make it into a reality. It's gonna be a reality. It's not gonna be a dream anymore. You're actually gonna be living it. Whatever you envisioned is gonna be as you envisioned it, or very close to it. I feel like you're gonna make you're gonna make it a reality, and it's also you're gonna. It's because you're gonna take that next step. You're gonna be confident enough in your talent, and you're just gonna do it. And I think it's like it's gonna be great. I think with a Hanged Man reversed, I feel like you're not gonna be just waiting anymore. Like maybe you've been waiting enough. Like maybe you've been patiently waiting for a long time for this to happen. Now you're gonna just do it, and it's gonna be like maybe you felt like, oh, it has to be perfect. Everything has to be thought out. Everything has to be a certain way, and maybe you have been postponing doing this thing that you have always wanted to do because you felt like it was never the right time. It was never good enough, or maybe you felt like you needed to perfect your art, or but I feel like what's next in your career is you're just gonna do it. You're gonna stop postponing it and just get on with it. And I think it's gonna be so rewarding. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna make you come alive. I feel like it's gonna be such a healing experience where you're and also healing for other people. I think you're gonna do something with your career next, is where you're gonna heal yourself, but you're also gonna heal others. You're gonna do something that is gonna make people get more in touch with their true self, with their sensuality, with their with their sexuality, their sensitivity, there's I'm gonna shuffle some more cards about what's next in your career. Okay, so with the Five of Swords, this came out reversed. I feel like you're gonna do something where you're gonna feel like you're gonna make something your first priority. Like maybe something that has been your last priority for a long time because you felt like, oh, you had to do all these other things, like because maybe you have obligations, maybe you have children, maybe you have maybe you felt like you needed something steady, something stable, maybe because you have other obligations. So maybe you've thought like you had to do it the conventional way, and so maybe you have been postponing this creative project that you're thinking of for a long time because practicality came along. You had to spend time on other things that were more appropriate or like more I don't know, but I feel like what's gonna happen next is you're gonna make room for your creativity, for this fun, like having fun, doing something that might, like, maybe if you, like, maybe you have been thinking that, oh, this isn't proper, that maybe you've been feeling like whatever you have wanted to do isn't proper enough, that like, I don't know if your creative project has something to do with maybe dancing a bit, like revealing in a revealing way, or sensual way, or maybe working in a bar where maybe some people in your family or have told you that you shouldn't work in a bar or a club, or a strip club or something like that, because that's not proper, that's not Christian, or that's not like whatever religion you have, or like that isn't the traditional way, that's not the like the correct way to do things or something. And maybe you have been a bit fixated on their opinions to the point where you haven't allowed yourself to be yourself and do the things that you're talented at. Maybe you have also been thinking about writing an erotic novel or something like that, but maybe you've been held back because some of your family members didn't really agree on it, or thought that it was too weird or like something, or maybe you felt like it was a bit weird, or something, I don't know, but I feel like you're gonna do it. You're just gonna do it. You're not gonna think twice about it. You're gonna live your authentic truth, like, and I think you're gonna show people what you can do, and it's gonna be a very good experience where you're gonna really feel like people are gonna give you a lot of positive feedback for this, and that's maybe something that you haven't gotten a lot of in your, like, maybe you have had people constantly telling you that you should do this, you should do that, and nothing is ever good enough. But I feel like when you do the thing that you actually want to do, the thing that you have dreamt of for a long time, when you do it, you're gonna get recognition, you're gonna get positive feedback, you're gonna feel like you're actually doing something that people really like. And then of course maybe some of your family members won't agree with it, but they are just a few voices in a big ocean, and you're not going to hear these two voices because they are going to be drowned in all the positive feedback you're going to get. So yeah, but I'm going to ask about some advice on your career, advice on your career. Ten of Swords. Be vulnerable. Show people what you've been through also. Don't share what you've been, like, don't keep anything back. Like, share what you've been through. If you have trauma, if you have experienced sexual trauma, emotional trauma, physical trauma, physical violence, verbal violence, if you've been in a toxic relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, share that story. I feel like that's a story that needs to be told, because a lot of people can resonate with it, and I think a lot of people would feel less alone in hearing your story. And I think it would also be healing for you to share it, because you would be able to heal those open wounds by writing it down, writing down the story, or telling it to a camera, or like something else, like doing video vlogging, blogging, video logs online, something where you can share what you've been through, and maybe also how you got through it, yeah. This is also this is kind of I think this is Maria Magdalena washing the feet of Jesus, I think. I feel like the advice also is to pump people up. Sometimes it's good to put yourself in the background and let other people, not let other people shine, but help other people shine. Help them find their light. Help, maybe you could do some work where where you have sessions with people where you help them find their inner goddess, or inner, their find that, maybe through tantra or through something, I don't know, but helping people. I know this, it's weird to talk about this in after just talking that it doesn't have anything to do with Jesus. It was just an association that got me somewhere else. So, but yeah, I think helping people. I think you're very good at counseling people, helping people through therapy or through coaching, life coaching, or through helping them find their sensuality through tantra, find their sexuality, get through their trauma, maybe their sexual trauma, by helping them find their sensuality that might be hidden very far down in, because they might have detached from their sensuality when they were assaulted, and maybe detached from their body when they were assaulted, and so helping people get back in touch with their body and their sensuality and their needs and their desires, because sometimes when someone is sexually assaulted, they can end up depriving themselves from certain things, they because of the detachment from their body, because they don't listen to their body, because they don't feel their body, because it's like a defense mechanism where the more the less you feel your body, the less you feel the pain of what your body has been through, and so sometimes it's a defense mechanism, and it might be good for a while, but then when you have to listen to your body, like sexually, you have to listen to your body when you're performing, when you have a delicate moment with another person, when you then you have to be vulnerable, you have to feel what your body needs, and you have to get into that desire that that you're being programmed not to listen to, or where you feel because of this defense mechanism, you feel like that's like everything from down here, like that's a no. And so sometimes, yes, it might be helpful to help other women or men get more in touch with their desires. Also, some people can become sexually anorexic, where they keep away from any sort of sexual touch as a defense mechanism. People can also get actually like anorexic because they don't listen to their body, so they don't hear when their body is hungry or thirsty, or any signs from the body. So to help, I feel like you could get a long way if you did something as a line of work to help people get more in touch with their body, listen more to their body's needs and desires, especially desires. Like, I don't know. But yeah, but I think that is all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this mystical Medleys tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 5? The people who will choose group number 5. What's next in group number 5's career? Okay, so I feel like maybe you have applied for a job or something, and maybe you're waiting for an answer, and I feel like the answer that you're gonna get is maybe not gonna be the answer that you're hoping for. So if you have been to a job interview and you really want the job, maybe the job is going to go to somebody else, and maybe it doesn't even have anything to do with you. Sometimes people just choose another candidate, not because the other candidate is better, but because the other candidate needs the job more. So maybe if you were in the running for the job and they had to choose between you and somebody who had 3 kids and had to feed all those kids as a single mom, then maybe they took pity on that person and thought, oh, that person really needs a job more than you do, or something like that, where it might not have anything to do with your qualifications or anything you said at the interview. So don't beat yourself up about it if you get a no. Then like it doesn't have anything to do with you personally. It wasn't anything you did at the interview. It wouldn't have, the outcome would not have changed if you had said something else, or if you hadn't said that joke, or like it isn't about that. It was just that the other candidate needed it more, or something like that. It's so I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say about what's next in your career What's next in your career? In group number 5's career, what's King of Wands? So maybe you're gonna do something like maybe you're gonna get a no on this job, but maybe there's also a point in that, because maybe the job that you applied for is actually not the job that you're supposed to get. So maybe there is another job, another opening that's going to come up, and I think it's probably going to be more exciting. It's probably going to be more up your alley, and it could have something to do with the entertainment business, because this person is a film instructor, as you can see, and so maybe something comes up in the film industry, some job to be to work, like something exciting, something else, something. So, and maybe that is more up your alley, something worth pursuing, something where you're gonna feel like your talents are valued more, something that is gonna be more fun. But of course, this can only happen if you let go of that thing that isn't gonna work out, like or not work out. But like if you have applied for something, I can really sense that you really want it. So of course it's gonna be a setback. It's gonna feel very. It's gonna be a bit of a disappointment, of course, that you're not gonna get that job. But what you're gonna get instead is gonna be so much better. So it's gonna be more creative. It's gonna be more more where you can use your comical side also. Like happy squirrel. So I feel like you're gonna be happy. Things are not gonna turn out the way that you hoped it would, but they are gonna turn out the way that it was always supposed to happen that way. So it's gonna you're gonna, like, sometimes our dreams are limited because sometimes we can be very realistic, and so we don't dare to dream too big because we don't want to get disappointed, and so we choose to pursue some paths that are not actually ours to pursue. Like maybe you want to be an actor, maybe you want to be a cameraman, or or something, or be a film instructor, or write scripts, or plays, or something like that. But you're maybe limiting yourself to something else, where you want to pursue a job in maybe some kind of firm, where you're maybe I don't know, where you feel like that's a better option for you. Maybe you want to work in a library because you like books, but really you're supposed to be an author writing the books, but you're going for the realistic option because you feel like the other option is dreaming too big, and maybe you really want to be a big shot Hollywood filmmaker, but you're doing you're working in an amateur theater, not even being on stage, just selling drinks or something, whereas where you feel like that is what you're like, that is the realistic idea that you like, that's a realistic dream that you can come up with, where you feel like that's attainable, that's something you actually can do. But you can also do this, but you're maybe limiting yourself to that because you feel, and then you get sad when you don't get the job at the cinema or like at the theater selling drinks, when that job was never meant for you. So if you don't get that job, then you should just be like, take that as a sign that maybe that was never supposed to be your job. You're supposed to dream bigger. And if you are maybe like, there's also like, I feel like for some of you, you could actually already, like this is specific for a few of you, but you might actually already have some kind of recognition. Like maybe you're a playwright, and maybe you have even like made a play or a few plays in the theater, and maybe even performed those plays. And if that's the case, then maybe you have like this idea for a play, and you're not getting the feedback that you had wanted, or like you might have gotten better feedback for another play that you made in the past, but now you're doing something that you actually feel is a bit better, but people are not actually seeing how great it is, or like you're not really getting the reaction that you expected. But that's maybe take that as a sign that maybe you should branch into something else, or maybe that you should dream bigger, because maybe you were never supposed to be a playwright. Maybe you were supposed to be a filmmaker, and you've been putting yourself up to be a playwright because you feel like that is the realistic dream, when actually you can shoot for the stars. You don't have to limit yourself to just think you have to be in one place. Like you're allowed to dream big, because you're a happy squirrel. Get that bread, and yeah, I feel like you're also very good with colors, and I don't know, but like, I don't know if you're into the whole color, color theory, like the whole summer, winter, autumn, spring thing with the color scheme thing. If you're into that, then like, nobody says like that. Like that's something you could become an expert in if you like. There are color experts out there, and like they do things and have jobs where they do that, and so that was something else. But I don't know. With a star, you have star quality. Go for it. You can do whatever you want. Like you have a crazy luck that you should really be riding on. Like you have this wave of luck, and it's just like, it's endless, and you don't seem to actually be milking this, because you seem to be playing it safe, when actually you could be milking this luck, because even if you did something completely outrageous, you would get out of it with positive results. Like it would, like, there's really nothing you could do that would be too unrealistic. People are gonna dig it anyways. Like people, like there's, it's gonna work out. Anything you set your mind to, like you're very lucky, and you're very protected also spiritually, very protected against criticism, it seems, and judgment. So even if you did something completely outrageous that would get other people cancelled, you could get away with that without getting cancelled, without even getting that much judgment for it. So you seem very protected, and you should really you should really take advantage of that. So yeah, I'm gonna ask the cards if there's any advice for your career. Any advice? The Hanged Man. I feel like you have a very whimsical point of view, like very whimsical mind, and the way that you see the world is very upside down, and it's very interesting, it's very fascinating, it's very original. You're a very original person. You could be an Aquarius or like a Libra, or I don't know, but like I feel like you have a very alien-like way of thinking. Like you're a bit of an outsider in your, like you might have the outsider point of view where you can look at the masses, you can look at the herd, and you can kind of judge it because you're not really a part of it. You have a distance to the masses. Like you're good at distancing yourself, seeing it from the outside, and then analyzing the behavior. That like watching humans, but watching them in a, like in a zoo, like watching them like they were animals, and like looking at their behavior and like seeing it as a bit odd. And I think you're able to see people's behavior, see how strange our indoctrinated patterns are, like behavioral patterns that are being like inherited from generation upon generation, and we don't even realize how strange it actually is, and how there's actually a much more productive way to do things, and how we're actually making things a lot harder on ourselves. And I think you're very good at analyzing human behavior, and I think that can get you very far, especially in the entertainment business, as a writer, a poet, a playwright, or a filmmaker. Anything where you create characters and show people a more maybe a bit of a caricature of the human behavior, where you maybe blast it up to a grander scale so that people can more easily notice how absurd we all are. And I think you're very good at that, and I think you could really make some masterpieces if you worked in the entertainment business. So, and which I feel like you are going to do. You're gonna get your foot in, and I feel like that is probably the reason why you're not going to get the job that you're applying for, or something. Like, it's because there is a bigger plan for you. There is something else you're supposed to do, and it's big, it's interesting, and it's going to mean something. It's going to stick with people, and it's going to have an influence on the world. And yeah, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 5, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose the Grunge Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you, group number 6. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 6? The people who will choose group number 6, what's next in group number 6's career? What's next in their career? I feel like there is going to be a spark of inspiration. There's going to happen something in your life that's just going to make you want to write a song or write a book, or like there's going to come up some kind of idea in your head, and I think it's going to make you feel like you just have to like drop everything that you have in your hands and just create this thing that you're envisioning. And I think you're gonna get this spark of creative inspiration that's just gonna, it's gonna feel really real. Like it's gonna feel like, and you might even get it in a dream. Like there's just gonna be something where you're gonna feel like this is an original idea. This is something that has never been done before, and it's gonna inspire you a lot. Of course, it's maybe gonna come at a time where you feel like you also have to focus on other things, like maybe you have other obligations that you have to focus on. Maybe you have another a job right now that you also need to pay attention to, and it's maybe going to feel like you have this great idea, but it's going to feel like it's trapped inside of you because you feel like there's just so many things going on in your life that you never actually get like any spare time to sit down and get it out there. Like, and but I feel like you're gonna make time. You're gonna try to make time for this. With a magician, like you're gonna have, like, what's next is that you're gonna have it all. Like you're gonna have so much that it's gonna feel a bit overwhelming. Like you're gonna, like, if you're afraid of losing your job right now, the job that you have right now, or if you're afraid that it's not gonna go the way that you hope it's gonna go, it is. You're gonna get everything that you want out of your job. You're gonna, like, it's gonna be very, like, you're gonna get recognition from your boss if you have a boss. You're gonna get, like, it's gonna be very, very good, but it's also gonna be overwhelming because it's gonna, all this recognition at work is gonna come at a time where you also want to focus on something else, like a creative project where you want to do something that is gonna be your legacy, and it's gonna feel like you have too many things at once, and it's gonna be hard for you to choose what to focus on, what to prioritize. Because I feel like you have a big talent, and maybe your talent is not being used at your current job, and you might want to use your talent, and you might be a bit frustrated that you're not using your talent at your job. Like you feel like it's kind of wasting away. Like if you want to write a book, or if you want to do something to do with music, you might feel like your musical career is like it's getting drowned in all these things that like all these jobs that you are kind of only having because they pay the bills, and you're maybe not that passionate about your job, but you feel like it's a good job, and you get the recognition that you want, and you're also going to get more recognition, I think, in the near future from your boss, and there's going to be more. It's going to, and there might also happen something where maybe you get maybe you have been asking for like some kind of arrangement at work, or maybe with maybe you have been working, maybe you have been talking to a social worker and maybe gotten to some kind of agreement on maybe cutting down your hours at work, or something where maybe you have I don't know if like in my country there's like a disability like you can have you can get like a disability check, and then you can have like this halfway thing where you're recognized as disabled to some extent. You can work a certain amount of hours and then get full pay for that amount of hours, and maybe you're gonna get you're maybe gonna get that through, like you might have sent a request to get that, and I feel like you're gonna get a positive outcome from that. But I feel like there might, like when you get that, maybe you have that already, but I feel like you're maybe gonna regret it a bit, because you feel like now you can't pursue a musical career that might have always been your dream or something, or that, and then you're gonna feel like that's a bit of a grief in your life, or that you want something, maybe not to do with music, but maybe something to do with fame, recognition, getting out there, be an influencer, or like I don't know if influencing is but like do something where you're out in the public eye, and maybe that has always been a dream of yours, and maybe you feel like now that you have this disability check thing, or like this job that's like what's it called, like something where that maybe you feel like you're put in a box where you're kind of captured in this where you can't shoot for the stars, because then you might be I don't know, it's but I feel like of course I think you shouldn't let this limit you. There's also of course maybe you feel like now that you have gotten this arrangement, that like now you can't get a second job because you're already getting paid more for more hours than you actually work, and so getting a second job is not an option, because then the government would find out, and then like there would be some kind of like you would maybe get thrown out of that system or something, and then you'll have to work on the same terms as everybody else, people who don't have a disability. And that's the thing, like it's a very, very unfair thing when somebody has a disability, and I think you do, and of course it's very limiting, this system where you can't, like you should be able to shoot for the stars. It is unfair that just because you have a disability that's gonna take away your dream. And so I feel like any way where you can, I feel like this might need some you might need to do your homework on this, because there might be a way to a way to get out of some of like. There might be a short or like not. There might be a loophole in this. There might be a loophole that you just need to look for. Some way where you can still be considered disabled and need to be like people like when you have a job, there's gonna be things where people take more care of certain things where I'm just rambling. I don't know. Yeah, that this is kind of hard to explain in English. Actually, but yeah, I think there might be a loophole. You just need to look for it. Because it's not like you shouldn't just accept that you can't have a musical career just because you're considered disabled from the government's point of view, that makes you only able to work a certain amount of hours, and if you exceed those hours, you will be thrown out of that system, and you will have to like that's not fair. Like you should be like that. There should be some kind of loophole, and I think there is one, because you should do what you're passionate about, and especially like there might be something about you not being able to go the entrepreneurial route just because you're disabled, that somehow that you can't have your own business because that takes more hours than the government would put on somebody who has the disabilities that you have, and so that there's some kind of limitation to how to what you can do. That there shouldn't be, because it's your life. You should be able to do what you want with it. So maybe ask somebody who knows the system inside and out, somebody who could maybe give you some tricks and some loopholes. So but yeah, but I think I'm gonna ask a bit more about what's next in your career. I just feel like you're really stuck in just in a job that might not be matching your talents, and it's just I think you feel like you can't get out of it. With the Empress, I feel like what's going to happen next is, I think you are going to you're gonna stand more in, like you're gonna get more in your element. You're gonna you are gonna do something that you're passionate about. You are gonna find something else. If the thing that you're doing right now, even if you're getting recognition, even if your boss is giving you a lot of compliments and a lot of praise, it might just not be your thing. Like it might not be what you want to do for the rest of your life. So it's all about choosing what's right for you, what feels right. And I think I'm sensing that you are going to find something else, something that gives you those butterflies in the stomach, something that feels like like something where you can, like maybe you have creative talent, maybe you're very good at putting together outfits, like maybe you're a very good stylist, and maybe you could get a job as a stylist, and maybe you don't have to have the job that you have now, that's maybe a desk job or a cleaning job or something where you feel like it's a good job, but it's just like I feel like you just want to do something more creative, something where you can really unfold your sense of style and your sense of colors and your vision, like your great vision. Like you might be very good at seeing like how different components go so well together when they are in harmony with each other, that you have an eye for what sounds good and what looks good, and you have a good ear for music, you have a good eye for style, there is something that you can do that is just, this person is a singer, by the way, so I don't know if you're thinking about a career in singing, but I feel like there's no one says that you can't do that just because you have some disability. It's like it shouldn't get in the way of your dream. Your dream is more important. It's too precious. You're gonna regret it when you're older and look back at your life and think, oh, you could have lived your dream life if you had just realized that, like, there is a loophole in the system. There is something you can do. There's something you can apply for. There is some kind of halfway situation that you can get where you can work the amount of hours that you're, but still be able to work those hours in the field that you want to work in, and also where you can get the sort of physical help, or like if it's a physical disease that you have, you might be able to apply for something, even if you ended up having your own business or starting your own brand or going out as a stylist, or like that you could still get some help physically to get those tasks done, or like that there's other ailments, other aids, like that you could get an aid in some way. I don't know if there's something that maybe there's also a treatment for, I don't know, maybe there will be a treatment for what you have, and maybe you could apply for it and get in the trial of it, and maybe that would help you physically to get to the point where you can actually follow your dream. Maybe you feel like you can't follow your dream because your physicality won't let you, because you have these you have this disease that is controlling your life, and it's horrible. It must be horrible to have a disease like that, and I really hope there is a treatment for it, because I feel like in the future you are gonna be able to do what you want to do. You will be able to live out your dream, even though right now I think you feel like it's impossible, but I think it's gonna be possible. You're gonna make it possible. You're gonna you're gonna find a way. And I'm gonna ask about some advice on your situation, or on your career. Advice on your career. What's the advice for group number 6? The world reversed. You don't have to. Maybe you feel like the thing that you want to do, like the dream that you have, maybe requires that you travel, or that you travel from place to place, and like that you will have to move around physically, but there might be a way to do this job that you want to do. Like if you want a career in singing, you wouldn't have to be touring all the time. Like I know that might sound a bit like unrealistic to but and of course you should shoot for the stars. So if you want a career in singing, that is maybe it could become a reality one day, that you would have to choose not to tour, and you would be able to say no to that. Like you wouldn't, like you can still do your you could still have a great career online, making music from your home studio. Like you wouldn't have to travel, and like if you feel like physically you wouldn't be able to uphold that lifestyle, you wouldn't have to. You could find a way to do it from the safety of your own home. And that also goes to any other, like if you want a career in like styling, being a stylist, you could be a stylist and consult people through Zoom calls or like internet calls. You could do it online. There's like there doesn't have to be a physical limitation where you feel like or there, like you shouldn't have to feel like you're physically limited from doing your dream, because a lot of things can be done online. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 6. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose this Omegaland Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7? What's next in group number 7's career? What's next in group number 7's career? Okay, so I'm sensing that that if you're applying for a job that has something to do with animals or children, I feel very positively about this. If you currently have a job where you care for animals and children, I feel like there might be a promotion coming up. Like maybe you're a substitute teacher, or like maybe you're maybe you're working as an extra at a school or at a kindergarten, and maybe I feel like there might be an opening coming up where you could actually get a better position. And if you're working in a zoo or in a vet, working with a vet, veterinarian, you might get some more. You might get some more tasks where you might get a higher position, get to do more things, get more responsibility and also get more pay because you get more responsibility. With the Ace of Swords, I feel like what's next is maybe some education. Maybe you will get some training that will give that will open up more, more doors for you, more opportunities. It will look very good on your resume, and I feel like for some of you this might be paid by your current job, like that it's going to be some training that they are going to send you to, and it's going to be like it's going to make you more qualified when you apply for another job afterwards, after this job. If you see this job as more of a stepping stone, I feel like it's going to be it's going to turn out to be a very good stepping stone, because I feel like you're going to get a lot of qualifications from working the job that you're currently working. So if you are thinking of changing to another job, or maybe moving to another country or something, then then maybe hold on to this job for a bit longer, because I feel like there is something coming up, a higher position, some kind of opportunity coming up in the job that you currently have, and making a big move to another country or something like that. It might be good if you have a partner like right now, then maybe you're thinking of moving towards your partner who lives in another country or something. I know this is very specific, so take what resonates. But I feel like if that might be the reality for some of you, that you're standing like right at like a crossroad, and or a fork in the road, where you feel like you want to focus on, like you want to stay at your job, but you also want to leave and maybe move towards your boyfriend or girlfriend and see where that goes. And maybe that is a sacrifice that you feel like you have to make for your partner, and maybe it would be good for your relationship, but for your career it might not be a good idea. But then you have to make the choice whether you want to choose your career or your relationship, and that's something that you will have to just decide. And I don't think it will be that black or white of a choice. Like I think like if you focus on your career, I don't think you're going to lose your relationship because of it. And if you focus on your relationship, your career is not going to just go to shit. Like there's there's a like whatever choice you make, I don't think you're going to lose the other. But of course, if you focus on your career and stay in the job that you currently are in, I think you have good prospects. You're gonna have a good opportunity, like very soon. I think there's gonna be an opportunity for more training, getting more qualifications. And learning more and learning to do more things, so that in the future you're gonna be able to say that you have experience with these types of things. Which is also maybe good in, like, if you are thinking of going into the university and you're gonna go and like you're gonna specify your degree, like you're gonna want something, you're gonna want a specialty, and when you're applying for that, I think it's good to know that that you can write in the application that you have experience with some specific things, like if you're working with children and you're thinking of going back to school and get maybe a degree in child psychology or something like that. It might be good to tell them that you have experience with autistic children or something like that. with the Eight of Swords reversed, I feel like you're maybe a bit like right now you might be a bit nervous about the future. Like you might feel like it's all like maybe you really feel very affected by your relationship or your family, or like there might be some issues where you feel like you can't stay in the place that you are in right now because there's so much chaos going on in a whole other place, like where your partner lives, or maybe your children lives, like they might live far away, or like I know this is very specific, so take what resonates, but yeah, there might be some situation where you feel like you're very far away from the people who need you right now, and so you feel like maybe you can't focus all your energy on your job because you might have like just ended a relationship, or maybe you're getting married, or like maybe you're like there might be some other things happening in your life, and maybe I feel like that is putting a bit of a shadow on your career because it feels like of course I feel like what's next in your career really depends on what you're gonna do. Of course that goes without saying, but there's like it really depends on what you're gonna prioritize. If you're gonna focus on fixing your personal life, fixing your relationship, fighting for something in your relationship, fighting for your children, or like I don't know, something, then of course that is going to take up all your time, and it's going to make it hard for you to focus on what's happening in your career. And it might not, maybe career isn't supposed to be a priority for you, but I feel like if you did make it a priority, I think a lot of good things would happen in your career. I think there's a lot of good opportunities opening up. And so, of course, it's a bad time to focus on your personal life, but of course there's no such thing as a good time for anything, because everything happens kind of all at once, and like sometimes we just end up in a situation where we are not we're sometimes not master of we're not the master of timing. We can't really decide the timing of anything. Everything happens in divine timing, and so of course I feel like in the near future there might be a bit of chaos going on in your personal life, or a lot of things. It's not necessarily chaos, it's just a lot of overwhelming feelings happening. Maybe you are gonna get married, or maybe your partner is gonna propose, or maybe maybe they are gonna there might be something that you're just gonna have to deal with, because it's a big thing. And that's okay. It's okay to put your career on pause because there's something else that's more important. With the Three of Coins reversed, I feel like what's next is like you are maybe gonna be in a position where you're gonna feel like you don't have the blueprints. You would really want to have the blueprints of your life, know what's gonna happen, know what, like it's gonna feel a bit like there's gonna happen some surprising things. There's also gonna happen some shocking things, and it's gonna feel like, oh, it would be so nice to just have the blueprints so that you would know. You would know everything. You would know how everything is mechanically like how it all works out, and what and sometimes it's also like it's hard to really figure out our fate, and what's sometimes it seems so pointless. Sometimes our life seems like chaos, and there's no pattern in it. It seems like things just happen, and sometimes it is hard to keep sane, especially if you're dealing with somebody who's a bit like insane. So maybe you have a family member or a partner or an ex-partner who is a bit delusional or like something, and you're maybe dealing with this situation. Like maybe you had children with an ex-partner, but now you are divorced, but it's hard because you have to co-parent with that person, and it's hard to co-parent with somebody who is delusional and who has all the who might even make you question your sanity and make you feel like you're not certain whether the things that she or he is saying is actually right, like that it's gonna, so that I feel like of course that doesn't have anything to do with career, I know, but I feel like when it comes to career, it's just all about surviving. Just be there, get that bread, but don't let don't be too hard on yourself if your main focus is gonna be your personal life, because there's no like it's sometimes that just happens. Our personal life gets in the way, and sometimes we might look back and think, oh, if we had just focused on our job, then we would have maybe got that training position, then we would have then that training position wouldn't have gone to somebody else. Then there's all these things where we feel like, oh, we would have wanted to be in a team, but maybe because of all these, like there's like maybe some teams at your workplace where you really want to be in one team, but like you end up being in the garbage can team. I know that sounds bad, but like that you feel like you're ending up with all those who didn't make the first round, and you're just ending up with all the leftovers, and you feel like that, and you're maybe going to feel like the only reason why you ended up with the leftovers was because of all these personal things taking away your focus. And you should cut yourself some slack, because there's a lot of shit going on. And it's okay to react to it. It's okay to not have all the like all the energy in the world to deal with your career when you're constantly being dragged into something personal, sucked into some drama and some chaos, and so don't be hard on yourself. There is more to life than career. It's all about people. It's all about the people around us. It's about our connections. It's about our relationships with one another. There are more important things than our own ego trip to get that bread. Like there is sometimes our relationship needs more attention. Sometimes we also need to be kind to the people who are sucking us into a hole where we feel like we can't focus on our career and what's important for us and getting our dream. Because sometimes we need to bury our ego and remember that sometimes being there for somebody else is actually exactly what we need, and that it's actually also a healing process for ourselves, and that sometimes somebody just needs us more than we need our dream. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow your dream just because these people need you, but don't be mad at yourself for choosing your personal relationships over your career, because that's a very selfless choice. And I'm not going to glorify it, because I also want you to focus on your career. So but sometimes it's hard to cancel out the noise. Sometimes it's hard to just ignore people who really need you, and it might also be something we're going to regret in the future, that we didn't pay attention to these people, that like we might, like, if this is a relationship that's causing you a lot of drama, like it might, like there might be a quick fix to it. Maybe this person just needs your attention, and maybe this person is needing your validation, and maybe it seems a bit toxic for this person to kind of interfere with your career just because they want you and want all of you and want your undevoted attention, and it will seem selfish from that person, but it might be a selfish deed, but of that person to do that. But I think ignoring this person will just inevitably make you lose that person, and maybe you're going to regret that, because maybe this person is worth fighting for. But I don't know. It's up to you. I'm gonna shuffle some cards and see what the cards have to say about what advice there is for you. Eight of Cups. So I feel like when it comes to your career, maybe remember that if you walk away, your career is going to be there. If you decide to leave, move to another country, or move closer to your loved ones, or your career is going to stay there when you come back. This card in the Rider-Waite, it's somebody who is leaving some cups behind to go and hike a mountain. But the thing is about that card is that the cups are there when they come back. The cups will always be there. It's I feel like your career can wait. Your personal life might not. So maybe, like, I feel like, yes, there might be some opportunity for some training that, like, in the first round you're not going to get it because you're going to maybe go see your boyfriend or girlfriend at the end, like in another country or very far away, and maybe that is going to cause, like, maybe you're going to take some time off from work, and that might end up being the reason why somebody else gets a training position instead of you. Big whoop though. Like, like when you come back from this, when you've fixed your personal life and you decide to come back to your job and apply for that job again, or like if you choose to start a new job somewhere else, but then realize that you want to come back to that job, like then it's all going to be there when you come back. You're not going to lose anything from this. And there might be a training position opening up a year from now. And that training position a year from now is going to be just as good as it would have been if you had started now. So no harm, no foul. Like and then you will have fixed this. Yes, you will have delayed your training with a year, but you fixed your personal life and your relationships and connections, and that is maybe worth more at the end of the day. Like but again, you can choose whatever. This is just advice for you. You can decide to take that advice, but you can also decide not to. But yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. Have a great day, and bye.